Hello, hockey friends and families around the world, and welcome to another episode of the Wraparound Roundtable. It's our holiday special where we give out big prizes and introduce you to some of the big influential people in the game all at once. Remember, before we get going, at any time you can head over to hockeywraparound.com, look for the Roundtable button, enter in for this week's prize, which is, as always, a Green Biscuit Puck Around bundle. They are hot. Everybody loves those right now. And always, whenever you enter in week to week or episode to episode, you are automatically entered into our grand prize, which is a smorgasbord of lots of different things. Smorgasbord. I think I said that right. Lots of different things that you can pick up. A Sparks machine. We've got blades. We've got deodorizers. We've got whoever wins this thing is going to be very happy. I say that every week. Again, check that all out at hockeywraparound.com. But today's guest is someone you all know and someone all your kids know. He's easily one of the most, if not the most influential creators in hockey. You know him. You can find him online by his name or at Hey Barber. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in welcoming Pavel Barber to the show today. Pavel, welcome to Our Kids Play Hockey and the Wraparound Roundtable.
Oh, thanks, man. Yeah, good intro, buddy. I'll might have to get you to do my camp intros for me, bud.
We can go Michael Buffer if you want to do that, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh,
now
wow.
Coming to the show. Now, you know what? When you do 400 plus episodes.
Yeah, dude, you're good at it, man.
Yeah, I really appreciate that coming from you, man. The reason I'm excited to have you on here today, man, and again, for the audience listening, Pavel is going to do a full episode of Our Kids Play Hockey. We talked about that prior, and we're really going to dive into some interesting stuff with him. But the purpose of this show is to celebrate creators such as yourself, but not the surface, right? To really dive into you and who you are. And let's just start kind of with this question, Pavel. You are number one, really, across the board. Everyone knows who you are. When you started this, did you have that goal in mind? Was this where you expected to be? Was the journey winding and up and down? How did this even start with you?
Yeah, I mean, definitely not. I had zero plans of even making this a job, to be honest with you. I love doing it. I would film videos in my spare time anyway. It's something I naturally do. And I think I just got lucky with the timing of Instagram becoming photos to videos. And that's when I kind of got into it. I first filmed a YouTube video on an empty sheet of ice in between lessons at the University of British Columbia. Just put my phone on a milk crate, shot some creative shootout Dangles episode 1. And people liked it. So I kept doing it. And luckily it has grown very slowly over the years.
Yeah, well, look, it's growing massive. I mean, anytime you can use the words million in terms of influence is amazing. But I want to dive into this too, man. So what's cool about this show is we have a lot of kids that listen. And I feel like we bring up this question on every episode is when we ask the young kids, well, hey, what do you want to be when you grow up? Aside from an NHL player, YouTuber, creator is always a top answer. And what we've found in these interviews, and we want to share it with the kids, is that the people who do this have a deeper calling, a deeper passion, right? It's no one got into it thinking, I want 12 million views a week. Nobody got into it thinking it's all about followers and virality, right? So we're trying to impress upon these young kids that the passion that you have, the drive that you have, what you said a minute ago, hey, I just enjoyed doing it. That really is the key behind creating something like this, right? If you're just chasing views, it's not going to work, right? There has to be a deeper meaning. I want to touch base again on your deeper meaning and then talk to the kids about that dream of being a creator, being a YouTuber, and understanding it's more than just what you see on the surface.
Yeah, I think you learn very early that the views don't make you happy. It's more the community you build and just being a part of something bigger than yourself. I started out kind of posting videos of NHL players making moves that maybe went a little bit more under the radar just because they didn't lead to goals. And I wanted to help kids understand where and when you use a move, when it's applicable, when it's not, to help people out further than, just looking at highlight reel plays that lead to sick goals. So I love being a part of that community and getting into the conversation and maybe getting people to think a little bit more about the specifics in hockey. There's a million things to think about with that. But I think being a creator is something I've always, I don't even think I dreamt of doing it, to be honest with you, because it's such a new thing, but just like the lifestyle, I love it, man. Like I love filming. I love the process of editing the stuff. I love the process of trying to find new ways to entertain or educate or push the boundaries or make up a new move. I'm very thankful for my audience for allowing me to live this lifestyle, and hopefully able to do it for a lot longer.
Well, I'm sure you will, man. And again, I love the dedication, or maybe we should use the word obsession with the craft, right? And I think that that's such an important message that you just gave there. Of really, when I think of this is my own mind, creating or writing or anything, it's all hockey to me. The same dedication that I put into the game as a player at most of my life and as a coach now, it's obsessive, right? And when you can apply that to other art forms, and kids, you can do that. You can totally do that. The sky's the limit. You brought up your community, and this is something I love touching base on. Everybody who views your content sees the surface, right? It's so fun. I mean, I love the stuff you're doing now with like the different hockey products. I've always loved the tutorial-based stuff and the exploration of what can I do with my hands? What can I do in the game? But what people don't see is that back end. And I know from my own experience, the amount of DMs I get, especially from parents, just, hey, love the show. I love what you're saying. I love your theories. And I love this. And I needed to hear this today, right? I'm not asking you to be specific to one person, but can we maybe pull back the curtain for a second and talk about that community behind the scenes? Because I am sure I know you get messaged all the time, but I'm sure you get kids just say, I want to be better. You're helping me be better. What is that side of your life like, in hockey?
Yeah, honestly, I remember the first time that happened. It was a surreal experience, like just reading something from someone asking how to get better, or showing me a clip of them training, asking for advice. So it's definitely a position I love being in, and I think the actual process of getting better at hockey is something that unites all of us. We're all at varying levels, but we're all trying to get better, and I think just the understanding that the process is very slow. It's not linear. There's lots of bumps in the road. There's lots of regressions and things like that. But to be able to, receive messages and see where kids are at these days and what they're doing, and maybe asking like, what's the best use of my time? Like, this is what I have at home, or whatever it is. I love that, because I think when I did that, those videos with Itaguchi, who, a lot of people know.
I love those.
The story on him wasn't like, oh, this kid's going to make the NHL. It was very, very unlikely. But the story was more, you can do a lot with very little. And I think he inspired a lot of kids to really look at themselves and say, hey, like, this kid's in a, pretty garbage, like, concrete area working on his dangles with a green biscuit with his shin pads on because he can't get access to ice nearly as much. What's my excuse here? Like, he's really taking every foreseeable resource to be able to better himself at hockey. And I think that's something that every kid's got to understand is, like you said, you got to have the passion first, the obsession to get better, but then you've really got to go out of your way to get beyond the ice, to get better and refine your skills and grow them. And then, just get better as fast as you can.
Yeah, but I love it, man, because it's something we talk about on the show a lot about. It's not about your resources. It's about being resourceful.
Yeah.
Right. And that if you love it, you'll find a way to practice. We also talk about, and this is going to segue into a question, that, from a parent standpoint, you can't create the love of the game. You can't create the drive. You can cultivate it. Yeah. Right. If your kid loves the game as a parent, you can cultivate it. But just because I grew up loving hockey is not an automatic shoe-in that my kids are going to love hockey. I'm very blessed that mine do. But the idea is that, from a parent standpoint, there's ways to help kids grow. Now, this is a question I know you want to be asked. I want to ask it, right? Anytime we look at social media, the human highlight reel, it can be so easy for people to say, well, there's the standard. That's what you need to do. So you got millions of kids watching McDavid highlights, Bedard highlights, you doing things, right? And it's so important, I know you want to talk about this, that it takes a long time to cook a hockey player. And that while you see highlights or you see amazing moves or you see what you can do, there's a progression needed there. Now, a lot of people, maybe don't realize this, Pavel, but you are a coach. You do understand the game. You are an expert level at what you do. So talk to the audience now as the coach that you are about expectation from seeing those things, how they should be progressing with their skill development, and why it's so important to understand that if you don't have something done overnight, that's absolutely normal. Talk
Yeah.
to people about that.
Well, I think first and foremost, if you're looking on social media as your basis for what is happening in the game and where the game is going, you're in the wrong place. The things that get views on social media are catered towards creative things that haven't been done, that are very eye catchy and off the wall. That's what social media is. The algorithms are catered towards things that are unique, different, very, very creative, often not game scenarios. So definitely don't go there as your basis for like, oh, whatever gets the most views is the most important. That's maybe the worst thing you can do. It's going to be the stuff that gets the least views that are the most important in hockey, like picking up pucks off the wall, zone entries, puck protection, being able to, tell when you're weak side, strong side, where the puck should be on a 2-on-1, all this stuff that will never get views. But that's going to be the things that are most important. So I think my advice to any kid or parent looking at social media, there are resources on social media that are more tailored just towards that. Like I have a separate one, Pavel Barber Training, that is just game specific stuff. And then Hey Barber is all the fun stuff, all the entertaining, more entertaining stuff. But you got to look at full games. You've got to look at patterns. You've got to look at the common things the best players do, and it more often than not, it's going to be the most boring skills that make the difference. Like I like to tell kids all the time, you ask them the question, like, what move does McDavid have that others don't have? And they can't answer it. And that's because there is no answer to it. He doesn't have a specific move, but he has way better awareness of his surroundings, way better skills application, knowing when and where to make a specific move given that scenario. He reads the defenders well, knows when he's at an advantage point versus a disadvantage point. He knows when he's on a number, when he has numbers on his side versus numbers against, all that stuff. I mean, that's what makes a phenomenal player. And then it's your brain speed, your ability to process that information before it happens. I mean, that's the difference. That it's not the sexy answer people want all the time, but it's the honest truth. It's going to be the boring basics that make a player that much better, and the consistency rate at which you do those skills and are able to apply them in games is really what separates the great players from the good ones.
Well, look, I love everything you just said on multiple reasons, right? One is with who you are, saying what you just said says a lot, right? I think that's number one. Number two is I would actually say this, buddy. You can tell me if you disagree, that the stuff that you're talking about is boring. I think kids, you got to make that not boring.
Yeah.
Right. Like that's got to be exciting to be learned. Like you said, pucks off the board is just such a great example of, it might sound boring, but make that exciting to learn that skill. Because, and I say this ad nauseum on the show, Pavel, is that if I see one more youth hockey player skating at a D with the puck in front of him unprotected, trying to make a move through his feet, it drives me insane. That's not the move. It's never the move. It's rarely the move. Right. And then you bring up McDavid, kids, I'll be honest with you, the highlight package, you only see from the blue line in, right? If you want to see McDavid, to your point, you got to see the entire ice surface and how he's reacting, not to mention he's got 4 players out there knowing exactly what he's doing. I mean, these are really great points, Pavel. I love that you're bringing them up. All right, last couple of questions here before I let you go. And again, gang, you're getting a tease of what this full episode is going to be like. On that episode, we're going to dive into how you're a national athlete, some of the work you've done off video, right? And just things you're doing to better the game, because Pavel, you clearly have a deep love for the game of hockey, right? And I think that, just to echo this again, there's no pathway for you to become who you become without that love of the game, right? So let me ask you this. When was it, the second they put you on the ice? Was it some other time? When was that click moment when you were thinking, this is for me, this is my life, right? I love this game and I want to make something of myself. And I'm not necessarily saying you becoming Pavel Barber. I'm just saying you understanding this is the path for me.
Yeah, I think me just like loving hockey. I probably knew that at like 8 years old. I was beyond obsessed. I live right near an outdoor rink, like 5 minutes away. I was there before school, after school. Often skip school when I was in high school. Don't do that, kids. But yeah, like I was fully obsessed. I just loved it. It was my happy place, man. Like I was always at peace. I was loving the slow progress I was making, being able to do more than I was the other time. I'd put my headphones in, I'd listen to music, I'd play, come home, you watch Hockey Night in Canada, like with your dad and brother and all this. It's just so good. I think just loving that, and in the wintertime having the outdoor rinks frozen to be able to actually skate on summertime on rollerblades just made me fall in love with it. And then I think as I got older, it was funny, like, I'm like, when I was like 25, 28 or whatever, I was like, man, I'm still doing the same thing I was doing when I was like 12. And I probably love it more. Like, it's crazy. I get just as excited. I remember I used to do like, pretend I was in the NHL scoring game 7 as every kid does. And every now and then, even still, I would do it when I was older, just imagining that, like pretending you're in an NHL game and whatever it is. So yeah, I always got that kid inside me that just loves the game, and I think everyone who plays the game understands. When you fall in love with the game, it's hard not to get obsessed with it.
Yeah, like I said in a lot of episodes, is that great quote: "Hockey's not something you do; it's something you are." Right, and you're totally explaining that right now. It's funny you mentioned the gratitude for today. When I get off the ice still, and I'm in my 40s, there's just immense gratitude. I remember getting off not too long ago, and the audience has heard this, just thinking, man, I still love this so much. I still love this just as much, if not more, than I did when I was a kid. And
yeah,
yeah, go ahead.
Sorry, I was gonna say, like, I remember, like, I would always not tie my skates tight enough because I was in a rush to get on the ice, and that's something I still do. Yeah. Especially if I if there's open ice in front of me, like even if I'm there like 20 minutes early, if I know I could be on that ice, it's just, you get that feeling inside you. You're just like rushing, putting your skates on. They're not even tight enough, but you just want to get out there as soon as you can. And yeah, that buzzer always hits too fast, whether you're training kids or whether you're just out there messing around. You just want to be out there for longer every time.
Yeah, I remember one time my friend was going to get a job as a Zamboni driver, and I said to him, "Don't you understand? We'll never have to sleep again."
Yeah, dude, that would be the dream. You got to get to know those guys.
Yeah, well, I'll tell you too. Just funny side story was that I remember in terms of that getting on the ice quick, I realized not too long ago, I'm always rushing driving to get to the rink. And it doesn't matter how early I am. And I realized, like, oh man, I just want to get there.
Yeah.
Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah. Once you get pulled over a couple of times, though, that'll humble you.
Yeah.
But yeah, listen, everybody listening, Pavel, I could go a full hour with you right now, but that's not the time we're slated for today. I want to remind the audience that we are going to do a full episode with you. I'm so excited for that because it's going to be not just fun, but influential to the audience. I know every kid listening, parent, we all look up to you and what you're doing, and the space you've created for yourself in the game. And again, you do so much more than I think what people just kind of see on the surface, and we're going to dive into that. But before we go, as we always do, we're going to add that multiplier to the prize. This week's prize pack is a Green Biscuit and a Puck Around. Pavel, you can add on one of these things: a goalie wraparound, a hockey wraparound, a Puck Around, another Green Biscuit, or a Blade Shade sunglasses, or a bag deodorized for you smelly kids out there if you want to smell good out there. Whatever you want to throw on, we'll throw on. What do you want it to be?
Let's do the goalie wraparound. Let's show the goalies some love for once here.
Yeah, my son's a goalie, so he's going to love that.
There you go.
All right. Remember, head over to hockeywraparound.com right now. Click the roundtable button. Enter in. Remember, you can enter in every week for the base prize, the one you're hearing. If you're hearing this episode, it's still available. And every entry you do is in for our gigantic grand prize. I still can't believe all the stuff we've gotten to that. It's going to be fun to put that in a box for everybody. But that's going to do it for this edition of the Wraparound Roundtable. Pavel, thank you so much, man, for coming on here. I know you're a busy guy and giving us the time today.
Oh, all good, man. I appreciate you having me on, man. That was a lot of fun.
It absolutely was. To be continued. We'll see you on the next Wraparound Roundtable, everybody. Remember, skate hard, have fun, get better, and enjoy your hockey. Take care.